I'm Annika, and this is Arjun. We just wanted to ask
Okay.
you a few questions.
Okay, about your
Alrighty.
life. Have you coped with COVID and all that? Okay. Question 1. What or who inspired you to pursue this career?
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you. My friends kept asking me to run for mayor because there were a bunch of things that a lot of people thought we needed in our town, and they all agreed to help. And so I said, okay. And we wanted to save the green space, and we wanted to build more sports facilities and trails and protect green space and strengthen our heritage. And so we went out there and told people what we thought should be done. And it actually was a bit of a surprise, but we won. So here we are.
Usually running for mayor isn't something most friends ask.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the current state of Oakville?
I'm very proud of Oakville. Oakville's done extremely well throughout the challenges of the last year and a half. And it's starting to look like we're going to continue to do well.
Well, how did you feel when you started your job?
I was very excited because there was a lot of work to do.
Okay.
So, what have you been doing during the lockdown?
Oh, I have continued to be the leader of the town and to be the mayor, and I've run the council meetings just like before, although we use the same stuff you're using. We use this this video meeting type of stuff now. And I'm very proud of the fact that we kept getting our work done, even though there was a pandemic, and we did it very safely, and we didn't lose any people from the town who were doing the work. And I'm also very proud of the community because um, although people died from COVID in Oakville, like everywhere else, um, the proportion of people, the amount of people that died was very low compared to almost everywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So that tells me that Oakville people are very good at following public health guidelines and keeping themselves safe.
Okay, can you
Like
hear
right
us?
there. Yeah.
Okay. If you go back in time, what is one thing you would want to change about your life?
I've had a very, very lucky life with a lot of happiness and success. And so there really isn't anything I'd like to change. My life worked out in a lucky and happy way, and I am basically a happy guy.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
How did you tackle COVID when it hit Oakville?
Very, very carefully, and with a whole lot of research and listening to a lot of experts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is your favorite? Wait. Did you say
You know
something?
what was? I was going to tell you that one really important thing to being successful as a mayor during COVID was to always remind myself that I am not a doctor. And so I should listen to the doctors.
Okay. What is your favorite part about being the mayor?
The best part about being mayor is the joy that comes when you get a whole bunch of people to think together and work together to do good for the town. And to come to an agreement and to decide what's important, like to decide what you're going to do first and decide what you're going to do second, and to decide what you're even, what you will do and what you won't do. There's a process involved in that where you listen to each other and you exchange ideas. And that's the best part of this job.
Wow.
What are some new things you've learned or reflected upon during the lockdown?
Well, I've always been what you call a people person. And I learned that I was even more of a people person than I thought I was, because it felt very lonely having to deal through pictures, through phones and videos and screens and stuff, and not see people in person. So it taught me that if, when we get out of this, I'm going to treasure being with people even more than I used to.
Next question. How has your life changed because of COVID? This is kind of an easy one.
Well, the biggest change was I didn't get to go out nearly as much as I used to. That would be the biggest change. The second biggest change is I've never washed my hands so much before in my life. They told right? They told you that you have to wash your hands a lot. And and another thing that happened is I did more walking than I'd ever done before, because for quite a long time, walking was almost the only thing you could do,
True.
to get out.
What is your greatest concern about the world state?
My greatest worry about the world state is hatred and racism and inequality. Those things are all mixed up together, and they are the eternal problem on our planet. As a matter of fact, I don't care how far back you go, that's pretty much all problems have boiled down to being caused by hatred and inequality and racism. And I think that's the hardest problem we have to work with.
Wow. Okay. Did you think you made a good choice by becoming the mayor?
Yes, I've been mayor for 15 years. That's 4 terms. And I'm planning to ask the voters to give me another term. And I wouldn't do that if I didn't think it was very fulfilling and even fun.
Chances are they'll say yes to your vote. If something like this happened in the future, how would you prepare the community?
I think probably would do the same. I think we were very successful with how we approached it. We were early to say there's a problem. We were frank and easy to understand, I think. When I look at how much people cooperated, I think we must have communicated it well. And so, it's been a real lesson that this is a town, Oakville is a town full of people who really do care about each other and don't want to make each other sick, and really good at working together.
Okay, next question. What are some struggles you've been facing during the lockdown?
I haven't really had a struggle. Uh, it's been very busy. Maybe my biggest struggle has been getting enough sleep, but you know,
Struggle every
we
day.
have a terrific town staff and a terrific council. We all work together really well with respect, and we listen to each other. So I wish I could tell you that it had been hard or there had been a problem, but uh, when you live in a town like Oakville, we're lucky.
What book or movie character do you relate to the most right now?
Hmm. I like books and movies so much. It's really hard to pick one. Um, let's see. Um, if I well, I'll pick one from Star Wars. How's that?
Sure, why not?
The character in Star Wars that I like is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, that's one of my favorite as well.
Okay. Number 2 is Yoda.
The little funny one.
Yeah, and then Baby Yoda as well. Yoda and Baby
Oh
Yoda
yeah,
are my favorites.
yeah, that Baby Yoda series, that's really good.
Yeah.
Mandalorian, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Has anything interesting happened to you lately?
Mm, well, yes. As a matter of fact, interesting stuff happens to me every day.
What specifically?
Well, there is a world famous golf course in our town that we've been trying to save for 5 years. And we've been trying to get the province of Ontario to help us. And 2 days ago, uh, the the provincial representative from Oakville told us that he wanted to help us, and so that was pretty interesting and pretty enjoyable.
I've never heard of a famous golf course here.
Yeah.
Well, you may not be old enough. You might not be old enough to have heard of it. It's called Glen Abbey. It's very old, and it's the most famous golf course in all of Canada. And they even know about it all over the world.
What is a bright spot in your life during these troubled times?
Um, my wife is my bright spot in all times.
Well, same for my dad. Okay. Next question. Tell me about a conflict you have faced at work and how you've dealt with it.
I always deal with problems the same way, and that is by asking questions.
The question asker. Okay, Inaka, your turn.
Well, you would be surprised how much you can learn by asking questions and
Questions.
listening to the answers.
I ask people like a bajillion questions a day.
True. Oh. Have you ever experienced something like the lockdown in the past, like being grounded for a long time?
No, as a matter of fact, when I was a kid, I was never grounded. I think I was sort of a goody-goody kid.
A goody two shoes?
It doesn't specifically have to be grounded. You just
I
have
was
some stuff in your house.
I was kind of a good boy.
The opposite of my brother here.
Yeah.
I'm out of questions. It's wonderful.
Okay. Last question. Did you run for any
Okay.
elections while you were in school or university?
Did I what while I was in university?
Did you run for any elections, like school president, or
Oh,
secretary or treasurer while you were in school or university?
Treasure.
Treasurer, yeah.
It's treasurer.
yeah, and actually I did. When I was in grade 12, I ran to be the class president and I won by
Well,
by one vote.
well,
Congratulations.
yes, congratulations. Maybe that's how you
Thank
became the
you.
mayor.
All right. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I wish you great success in your life. You're on your way with all these interviewing skills that you're doing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.